ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay. Notebook, page 50, second line from bottom. Gita Press, page 47, middle, last line of the Bhashya. Let's read that. Yathaa akashasya. Yathaa akashasya
यथा आकाशस्य
सुषिरभेदोत्पत्तिप्रलयनिमित्तत्वम्
सुषिरभेदोत्पत्तिप्रलयनिमित्तत्वम्
घटाद्युपाधिकृतम् एव
घटाद्युपाधिकृतम् एव
तद्वत्
तद्वत्
अक्षरस्य अपि
अक्षरस्य अपि
नामरूपकृतदेहोपाधिनिमित्तम् एव
नामरूपकृतदेहोपाधिनिमित्तम् एव
जीवोत्पत्तिप्रलयनिमित्तत्वम्।
जीवोत्पत्तिप्रलयनिमित्तत्वम्.
Yeah. So, this mantra talks about the utpatti, birth of jivas from aksharam. Bhaavaah means jivaha in this mantra. Bhaavaah aksharat. Aksharat means from aksharam. From that aksharam Brahma, how jivas have come about. And in what manner they have come about is also given in an example. Just like sparks come out of fire. Sparks come out of fire. Which means what? Idea is to understand that the sparks which come out of the fire Just like they have the same nature as that of the original fire. Same nature, same essence. Okay. So also, Jivas have the same essence as Brahma. And Shankara doesn't spend much time on this example. Correct? He quickly switches to Akasha example. Akasha. He says, you keep saying this home belongs to me and you own up this space and I created this space. Well, I created this space if you say, nobody can create space really speaking. But then the Griha Upadhi is there. Upadhi. There is something that you created. Okay, I constructed a house. If somebody says that is somewhat acceptable. Because it was not there before, now it is there. All right. But the Akasha has always been there. So this ownership to Akasha is just a gas. Gas, that's what Shankara is saying. Gas means what? It's all humbug. Humbug. And that example he gives here. To say that if you say Akasha has been created, it is purely with reference to the Upadhi of the house, Ghatadyupadhi. Pots and all things that are made. Like that he says. And so really speaking, nothing is created. Like that. Nothing is created means or you can say the created object is not separate from the creating object, from the source, from the creator. That's the idea. Just like the wave you say has come, look at the big wave you say. But big wave, the essence of the big wave and the essence of the ocean are identical. And carefully, if you look at the big wave, there is only water. Top of the wave is water, bottom of the wave is water, this side is water, that side is water, inside is water. Everything is water. Pani, pani, pani. And so, that is being said in this example. And Shankaracharya is going to conclude. Because mantra is cryptic. It simply says they are like sparks from the fire. So Shankara is getting the essence out from that. Yathaa Akashasya Sushira Bheda Utpatti Pralaya Nimittatvam Ghatadi Upadi Kritam Eva. Yatha. So Yatha, just as this Akashasya, Akashasya means Mahakashasya, the space, and the space seems to be constricted, confined, restricted, enclosed, fragmented. Okay, how many words are there? I'm trying so many. Any just like space is like that, and we keep saying space is small, narrow, big, large, vishalam. This ashram is so big. Okay, so big. So all these big and smallness ideas are there, and that is called the Shushira Bheda Utpatti Nimittatvam. A Sushira Bheda, all these sizes that I am giving to Sushira literally means a hole, but here it means an enclosure. Sushira Bheda, different types of enclosures, and Nimittatvam, the cause for that enclosureship, if I can use that word, the cause for that finiteness, the cause of that boundedness of the space, the cause for the fragmentation of the space, that is, cause means nimittatvam, the cause, the causality, nimittatvam, causality of this fragments of Akasha, just as the causality of the fragmented Akasha, let's put it that way, okay, is what? Ghatadi upadi kritam eva. Hey, it is all because of the upadhis called Ghata, Ghata, Ghata Adi, etc. All objects which you can imagine, which can confine space, and the objects themselves are in space, and you forgot all of that, and you say, this is space is small and big, and so it is all gatadi upadi kritam eva. That upadi is critical here. You are projecting the smallness of the upadi on space. You are projecting the bigness of the upadi on space. Okay, that is what is to be understood here. And like that, tadvat, aksharasya api nama rupa krita deha upadhi nimittatvam. That is one word, all the way from nama rupa krita deha upadhi nimittam eva jivotpatti pralaya nimittatvam. Okay, earlier I didn't mention the word pralaya. Sushira Bheda Utpatti Nimittatvam and Pralaya Nimittatvam also. Pralaya also. Utpatti means you have to now talk about Pralaya. Can't walk away. Because mantra is talking about Pralaya. Tatraiva chapi yanti. Yanti means pralayanti. Pralayam gachanti. So, that is where the fire example fails. Fails because the spark is coming out and then the spark dies away. Hey, mother fire is still ablaze here, and this fellow is gone. That's why Shankara just doesn't explore that example at all. But the commentators say that Ushna and Prakasha, that is the attribute of this spark, which is the same as the Ushna and Prakasha of the original fire. That they drop the example. They take only that from that example. All right. So pralaya means, as you can understand, the dissolution of the fragmented space. You see this one, big buildings getting bulldozed. Bulldozed. If you have, for that, you have to go to UP, Uttar Pradesh, and you can joyfully see all the mafia buildings getting bulldozed. And this is the approach that our chief minister has taken, and they are just watching. Just watching. All illegal constructions. They give a notice, 3-month notice, 6-month notice, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 1 week. What will happen? India is our country. Nobody can touch us. If you have that kind of idea, you'll be wrong. In Uttar Pradesh, that's a wrong idea to have. And bulldozers come and just raise off this illegal construction. So like that, pralaya. Akasha pralaya has happened. Hey, this fragmented space is gone. My space is gone. Your space is not gone anywhere. It is still there only. That's what he's saying. So like that, tadvat, aksharasya api, even for akshara, when you talk about Brahman, and when you say Brahman has got this deha upadi, deha, Brahman has created this body, jiva. If you say, hey, it is exactly like the space. And Brahman cannot be created. It is ajo nityam shashvatoyam puranaha. How can Brahman get created and changed and all that? Nityam also. So if you say change, born, birth, if you celebrate birthdays and all, that is because it's all nama rupa krita. Nama rupa krita. Nama rupa. That's all it is. That's all it is. They are creating pots out there. But clay is clay. Clay doesn't change at all. Clay continues to be what it is. And the only thing you can attribute to this object that is created is Nama and Rupa. Pot, the word pot in any number of languages, that name, Rupa. Rupa. Okay, pot means if when you see it, you immediately say it is pot. How do you say it? Because in your mind, you know. Pot means a particular shape must be there. And if the shape is made too narrow, you won't call it pot. You will have to invent a way. What is this object you have to say? Is it a flower vase? Oh, correct. Okay. Flower vase. Where is pot? Where is flower vase? But it's the same machine that is making. All you do is press it a little more like this. Press it like this and pull out all the clay. And then we can make this, just make it. Sometimes we feel like I want to just do this to somebody. That's what he does to this. And that becomes a flower vase. Okay. So, upadhi. Nama rupa krita deha upadhi. Nimittam eva. It's all caused. Cause means, nimittam means cause. Caused by these upadhis. These upadhis which cannot touch clay, which cannot touch Brahma, which cannot touch Akasha. Okay. Eva. That is how this jivotpatti pralaya nimittatvam. This cause and sustenance and resolution of jivas, etc., if you say, it's also of the same type as the Akasha's cause. That's what he's concluding. He's concluding that. If you read the mantra, you won't necessarily get this idea. Okay? So, he said this is what you need to get from this mantra. He says don't get carried away by the fire example. Correct? Fire example is good for its limited purpose, but I want to extract more from this mantra. All right. That's the idea here. And I think I summarized the mantra also along the way. So, very interesting, right? This Brahman, Jagat Karanam. Ishvara is the Jagat Karanam. Ishvara is the Jagat, this one, sustainer of the Jagat. Okay. Srishtikarta, Sthitikarta, and also Layakarta. Ishvara is the creator. And we've been told that. And then finally you are coming and saying Ishvara is not the Karta also. You've dropped off Ishvara, then you went to Brahma, and Brahma is not Karta. This is your story. Why don't you just start with this final story? Why do you go like this detour, big detour? Go to creation and all, and then come back to non-creation. No, that is not possible because the human mind already is conditioned to think in a certain way. How can you say creation doesn't exist? You'll get a slap on your face if you say that. Okay, after studying all these things, you can't say that. Why? Because creation is there. Without creation, you can't make breakfast. There's no breakfast, nothing to eat here. Then 1 hour later, you say stomach is full. How? I created something. Obviously, you created something new. All right. So, Vyavaharika Satyam, all that is possible. And so, first we have to talk about Vyavaharika Satyam. We have to talk about creation, sustenance, and resolution, destruction. All this has to be talked about. And so, Maya has to be brought in. All that tamasha has to be done before we negate the causal status of Ishvara, negate the product status of the world, Jagat. This is a process. And so that's a compromise we have to do. What compromise? You say something that is not actually correct. Not actually correct. There is really no creation and really no destruction. That is the reality, paramarthikam. Vyavaharically, all these things are there, but we are talking about paramarthikam. Paramarthikam, these things don't apply at all. And so you have to go through Vyavaharikam and then you have to come to Paramarthikam. That going through Vyavaharikam is called technically Adhyaropaha. You can write this down in Vedanta. It's called Adhyaropaha. You project something on Brahma that really doesn't exist. Nobody knows. The students don't know this when this class is going on. Then slowly after, somehow it comes. Adhyaropa followed by apavadaha. Apavada is what? Negation. Projection, negation. This is the methodology of Advaita Vedanta. Negation. Everything you said is negated. Brahman doesn't have all the things you've been talking about. So it's all within the mithya prapancha. Everything you said works. Mithya prapancha. But there's no connection between that mithya prapancha and this satya vastu. No connection. What is this? Is there a connection between clay and pot? Obviously, there is a connection because this pot is made of clay. How can I say there's no connection? Like clay will be smiling at this. If you say there's connection and all, clay will be just like that, will be smiling. Because Nama Rupa, you have just taken Nama Rupa so seriously. Only thing that is there here is clay. And so the relationship between these two, what we say is, it is Satyam Mithya relationship. Whatever relationship can be there between Satyam and Mithya, that relationship is there between clay and pot. That is all we can say, which is fine. Which is fine. So talk about Mithya all along, Mithya, Mithya, Mithya. Then when you jump to Satyam, whatever was said about Mithya should be given up. Should be given up. That's why we talk about all these prakriyas. What prakriya it is? The avasthatraya prakriya, which we had talked about in this one, Kaivalya. Avasthatraya. Every other shloka is avasthatraya only. Waking state, dream state, and then deep sleep state. Then who are you? Who are you? It should make us think. The real me, who am I? Like that. The changing things cannot be me. That idea has to come. And so, Adhyaropa, Swamiji says, Adhyaropa, Guruji said, please get me some water. The Shishya said, went inside and got a glass of water. And Guruji was screaming, furious. I asked for water. Why did you get glass? Then Shishya is confused now. Maharaj, what are you talking? I asked for glass. I asked for water. You're getting me glass? Don't worry, don't worry. I'm not shouting at you. Just because you cannot get water without a glass, I have to use Adhyaropa in order to go to Apavada. Like that, Guruji is giving a message. And so, Adhyaropa is required before we go to Apavada. That's how Swamiji explains. So, this mantra is talking about Karanam Brahma. Because Vispullingaha, yathaa Vispullingaha, like that it said. So that's how the world, the jivas are created. This mantra is saying. Shankara is plucking out more. Hey, jivas are created like this, but the real Brahma is really not a creator. The actual Brahma is not a creator. But creation is talked about here. So this mantra is going to talk about Karanam Brahma, Ishvara, Karanam Brahma. Even though we talked a lot more than that. And next mantra is going to talk about Akaranam Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma. This mantra is going to has talked about Sopadikam Brahma, Brahma with Upadhi. Next mantra is going to talk about Nirupadikam Brahma, Brahma without Upadhi, without Maya Upadhi. Okay. So that's how this is progressing. Let's look at the Anvaya of this mantra. He somya. Tad etat within brackets yathaa bhutam vidya vishayam. Tad etad, then again within brackets yathaa bhutam vidya vishayam. Shankaracharya's words. Yathaa bhutam vidya vishayam. And for our understanding, another brackets within this brackets, you can say paravidya vishayam. That is our word. Tad etad yathabhutam vidya vishayam paravidya vishayam. Shankaracharya does not say paravidya vishayam. All right. satyam, full stop. TadetatsatyaM. Okay, next sentence. Yathaa sudiiptaatpaavakaat. Yathaa sudiiptaatpaavakaat. SaruupaaH vispulingaaha. After saruupaaH, you can put within brackets Agni salakshanaha. Saruupaaha Agni salakshanaha vispulingaaha. Saruupaaha Agni salakshanaha vispulingaaha. Sahasrashaha within brackets aneke. Sahasrashaha aneke prabhavante. Following the moolam. Sahasrashaha aneke prabhavante, comma. Second half of the mantra. Tatha. Tatha. Now we're going to put some words in the brackets. Nana dehopadhi bhedam. Nana dehopadhi bhedam anu. Nana dehopadhi bhedam anu. Brackets close. Tatha nana dehopadhi bhedam anu. Vividhaaha bhaavaaH. Vividhaaha bhaavaaH. And now within brackets we have to say jivaha. Shankara reminded us bhavaha means jivaha. Okay. Jivaha. Aksharaat prajaayante. Full stop. Aksharaat prajaayante. Next, last sentence. Tatra within brackets akshare. Tatra akshare cha eva. Within brackets. Dehopadhi vilayam anu. Dehopadhi vilayam anu. Jivaha. Close brackets. Dehopadhi vilayam anu. Jivaha. Close brackets. Close parenthesis. Api yanti. Api yanti. And within brackets, now you have to say api and yanti are not two different words. So write api yanti as one word, and which means viliyante. So two words are here. Api yanti, viliyante. Api and yanti are two separate words in the moolam. We are saying they should be together. Therefore, api yanti is equal to viliyante.
They are given together in the moolam, Guruji.
Oh,
Chaivaapi
wait, 1 minute.
Chaivaapi given as one.
Yeah, here it is like that, but Gita Press is not like that.
So
Okay, that's fine. That's either one is fine. So
We don't
it
use
is like that.
somya.
Somya, we started this whole thing with Hey Somya. So the Anvaya I gave started with Hey Somya tadetatsatyaM.
And he is not in the
You can put
Mudra.
the address anywhere. The address can be put anywhere. So this Anvaya, many ways of doing it. So this is just a one way. Okay, are we ready to repeat this?
Yeah, appreciate if you repeat the which are brackets also.
Okay, all right. Hey Somya. Yesterday I was talking to this lady who was here. She wanted the password for the Wi-Fi. So that password has a exclamation mark. And in Tamil, I don't know what it is.
Ashcharya
What it
Kuri.
is called. Then she herself said, I wrote this. She said, oh, Ashcharya Kuri. Like that she said.
Ashcharya Kuri.
Kuri. Hey Somya, Ashcharya Kuri. Tadetad yathaa bhutam vidya vishayam paravidya vishayam satyam. Full stop. Yathaa sudiiptaatpaavakaadvisphuli saruupaaH agni salakshanaah vispulingaah sahasrashaH aneke prabhavante kama tatha नाना देहोपाधि भेदम अनु विविधाः भावाः जीवाः अक्षरात् प्रजायन्ते फुल स्टॉप तत्र अक्षरे चैव अर्च एव देहोपाधि विलयम अनु जीवाः अपि यन्ति विलीयन्ते. Okay, good.
The second sentence after what is it? Sudipta.
Sudhita, moolam. Keep the moolam with you. Whenever you write this thing, you keep the moolam with you always. And so that way you can check. You can check your progress also. Sudiptaat, it's a moolam. Pavakaat, all those is.
Guruji, in the
Guruji, you
beginning,
said
can
the
you repeat after?
Dehopadi. Can I go? You said Dehopadi Vishayam or Vilayam Anu?
Vilayam.
Vilayam. Okay. Thank you.
Guruji, just in the beginning, Hey Somya, and then before tadetatsatyaM.
Yathaa bhutam. So all you have to do is look up tadetatsatyaM in the Bhaashyam. See, just for cross check, you can do a cross check. So tadetatsatyaM. Then yatha, Shankara's words, yatha bhutam vidya vishayam.
Yeah.
Everything is in the brackets, must be in the Bhashyam. So yatha bhutam vidya vishayam. And we are saying that is same as paravidya vishayam. Good. This yatha bhutam is a very technical word in Vedanta. It means as it is. As it is. Whatever is to be told as it is. That is called yatha bhutam. Good.
So the Bhashyam transcription, I color code it. The difference between Bhashyam and Moolam.
Sorry, Ramuji?
That's why I color code it differently for Bhashyam and Moolam. It is done in the notebook.
Yeah.
With the Sandhi Vicheda for the English and all. So it takes
Very good. No, really, it's a lot of work. Next, we are going to do the Sambandha Bhashyam of the mantra number 212. 212. Okay. Nama Rupa
नामरूप
Bija Bhutat
बीजभूतात्
Avyakritakhyat
अव्याकृताख्यात्
Swavikarapekshaya
स्वविकारापेक्षया
Parat Aksharat Param
परात् अक्षरात् परं
यत्
यत्
सर्वोपाधिभेदवर्जितम्
सर्वोपाधिभेदवर्जितम्
अक्षरस्य एव
अक्षरस्य एव
स्वरूपम् आकाशस्य इव
स्वरूपम् आकाशस्य इव
सर्वमूर्तिवर्जितम्
सर्वमूर्तिवर्जितम्
नेति नेति इति नेति नेति इत्यादि विशेषणम्
नेति नेति इत्यादि विशेषणम्
विवक्षन् आह
विवक्षन्नाः
அனன்யா எனக்கு ஒரே ஒரு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணேம்மா. இந்த ரூம்ல என்னோட ஹேண்ட்பேக் அந்த கபர்டுக்குள்ள வச்சிருப்பேன். என்னோட பர்ஸ் வெளி
Hema,
பக்கம்.
Hema, go and mute yourself, ma. Hema.
சாரி.
So, Upanishad Vivakshan Aha. Aha means tells. Upanishad now tells. Aha is a verb. You can underline a couple of words here. Vivakshan Aha you can underline. And in the beginning you can add Aksharat Param. Aksharat Param. Yat. You can underline those words. Aksharat Param Yat Vivakshan Aha. Aha means tells or told sometimes. Says, presents. All right. Present tense. Okay, who tells? That is not mentioned here. Upanishad tells. Okay. What is Upanishad telling? Okay, Aksharat Param. Aksharat Param. Param means what? Param means greater, superior, something. Shankara gave 3 definitions for Param in Kathopanishad. One is it must be subtler, Sukshmam. Aksharat Sukshmam. Another is it must be more pervasive. More pervasive. Means less finite, more infinite. That is Param. And he gave a third meaning. It is called Atma Bhutam. It should be closer and closer to the nature of Atma. This is called Shankaracharya. Otherwise, we will simply translate it as superior and walk away. A superior, inferior, I already know. I already have inferiority complex, superiority complex. Every complex is there. This is how I am going to think the superior and all. Give up the word superior. It's all, see, translation, unfortunately, there. You can't, how do you translate? And you are forced to translate, you are forced to use a word. But Param means Shankaracharya's, those 3 things you have to remember. What are the 3 things? It must be more pervasive. It must be subtle. First, subtle, more pervasive, and closer to the nature of Atma. Okay? These are the 3 things you have to remember. We can pick up the actual words from Shankara Bhaashyam later. All right. So, Aksharat Param. My God, I thought Aksharam Brahma. Now you are telling there is something Param to Aksharam also. This is a new Vedanta, I think, that you are talking about. Until now, I thought I have been studying Vedanta. Now, Brahmanaha Param. Something bigger than Param, subtler than Brahma. This is strange. It is strange because Upanishad is playing a game and mischief, unnecessary mischief. And that mischief is Upanishad is using the word Aksharam now in this mantra to refer to Maya, to refer to something less than Brahma. And if you ask me, where is it? You can look at the mantra and it says, look at the last quarter of the upcoming mantra. Hi aksharat parataha paraha. Parataha paraha means what? subtler than the subtlest, more pervasive than the pervasive, more of the nature of Atma than Param, Parat, Parat Para, Paratah Param. And that is Aksharat, Aksharat Para. So that Akshara here cannot refer to Aksharam Brahma and what is Shankara? So anyway, that's the idea. That's why Aksharat Para, that is what Shankara is reminding us. And Aksharat Para, he assumes we understood this, and so Aksharat Param is saying. So until previous manta, Aksharam was Brahma. There is nothing. Parat Para. So Aksharam is that final Nirgunam Brahma is Aksharam. But here Sagunam Brahma is Aksharam. That is why Aksharat Param he is saying here. Just by the way, that's all. Just make a note so later on when we read, we don't get confused. So Aksharat Param Vivakshan Aha. Vivakshan, Vaktum Icha, Vivaksha, with an intention to, with a desire to talk about. Vaktum Icha, desire to speak. It's called Vivaksha. Vivakshan, Shatru. So with an intention to speak about. To speak. Vivakshan Aha. With an intention to speak about that which is Param to Aksharam or Param to Sopadikam Brahma, the Upanishad tells. This is the main sentence. Got it? All right. Now let's look at the other words. So the other words must be what it has to describe two things. Param, what is this Aksharat Param? Shankara is describing in the second half of the sentence. What is the Aksharam? He is describing in the first half of the sentence. I think you got it. So Aksharat, Nama, Rupa, Bicha, Bhutat, Avyakruta, okay, Parat, Aksharat. So that you see that half is talking about Aksharam. Param is everything else. Everything else. Let's do the everything else first. Okay. Param. Param yat sarvopadi bheda varjitam. One that is free of all upadhis. That is clear. Brahma, without all upadhis. Okay. Without all upadhis. Ishvara is Maya Upadhi Brahma. Maya Sahita Brahma is Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara also, if you talk about Krishna and Rama and Devi, they also have upadhis. And so, this thing is Sarvopadi Bheda Varjitam. That Bheda, that upadhi also you should take off. You should take out. Then only you get into Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma. That is Sarvopadi Bheda Varjitam. Aksharasya eva swarupam. It is the nature of that Aksharam. What is Aksharam? New definition, which is Sagunam Brahma. Sagunam Brahma. When you say Gunam is there, some Upadhi has to be there. Ananta Kalyana Guna Sampannaha, they say. Vishishtadvaitis say that. Very important. Ananta Kalyana Guna. So it is just embodiment of all qualities, all the best things you can imagine. So that best things and all you take out. Okay, Aksharasya Swarupam, the Swarupam of those best things. Okay, that is what it is. Aksharasya eva Swarupam, Akashasya eva. Like space. Like space. Space is a fantastic example. Thank God for space, you know. Thank God for space. That's why they say, I think, spaced out. This guy is spaced out. What a word they use. I'm just amazed at these words people come up with. Spaced out means this guy doesn't know where he is. He's just all over. Freedom, full freedom is there. So, Akashasya iva sarvamurti varjitam. Like space which has no form at all. Free from all forms. Sarvamurti varjitam. And in your book, that word Murti is spelled a little differently than it is spelled in Gita Press. Okay. And I've said this many times before, but I'll remind you once again. It's a very interesting thing. So Sanskrit students may already know this. In Gita Press, how do you spell Murti? M-U-R-T-I. M-U-R-T-I. or Moorti. Let's put it dirgha, Moorti. In your notebook, it says Moortti. Correct? Double T? Yes or no? I need to see something. Yeah, TTI.
Yes.
Murti, it says. Murti. Well, that is just as there is a Sanskrit rule which says when this R, repa, is followed, is preceded by a vowel and followed by any letter like T, then that letter consonant can be doubled, optionally doubled. Therefore, karta, Karta is the popular spelling, but you can also say Kartta. Some books you will find karta. Don't think it is a spelling mistake. It is. They are just writing it like that, just because they want some variety, I suppose, and to checking whether you understood what I'm saying. Okay, karta. And then that rule, the same rule says, if the repa R, instead of R, you can even have hakara. When hakara is there also, you will have the same rule. That is why Brahma, Brahma is the popular meaning. Brahmma also is correct meaning, correct spelling. And so this is all by the way. Achorahabhyam dve. Hemaji and all may know these things. Those who are doing Panini. All right. So, Sarva Murti Varjitam, that like a space which is free of all forms. Space means you have to get spaced out. You have to mentally get spaced out. Only then you are really visualizing space. And then, Neti Adi Veshanam. Bah. How does Shastra talk about this spaced out Brahma? Yes, it does talk about many places. And Shankara here is choosing to use the word neti because neti. Brihadaranyaka. Anything you point to is not Brahma. That is neti. Is this Brahma? Is that Brahma? Oh, that creator that is there in heaven is Brahma. Heaven also is not Brahma. The creator also is not Brahma. Why? Because you just imagined it. You pointed to it. You have conceptualized it. Naeti, na iti. Naeti means na iti. Na iti. Na iti. Na. No. 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 Iti means in quotes. In quotes, no. In quotes, no. The answer to any question is going to be no. And therefore, anything you point to is going to be no. And so, neti iti adi visheshanam. That which is qualified or described by phrases like neti. You can even so add our Mundaka mantra. Adreshyam agrahyam, agotram avarnam, achakshushrotram, tadapanipadam, etc. You can add all those mantras. That which is not perceivable at all. Agotram, avarnam, no attributes absolutely. How do you talk about something which has no attributes? Stuck. Science will get stuck. Paralyzed. Science will not get paralyzed. They will say, no, this is not our subject. If they are humble, they should say, this is not our subject. All right. So, Ityadi Visheshanam Vivakshan Aha. All right, you're going to talk about this Sarvopadi Bheda Varjitam, Nirgunam Brahma, and which is Param to Aksharam, Aksharat Param, Saguna Brahmanaha Param. 1 second. That is being talked about next. Aksharat. Akshara means imperishable, really. All right, this is relatively imperishable. Within brackets, you have to say relatively. Why? Because Nama Rupa Bija Bhuta. Bhutat. That Akshara which is the seed for Nama and Rupa, which is the seed for the entire creation, which means what? Which is Jagat Karanam. within brackets, you can just say Jagat Karana Bhutat. Jagat Karana. Sagunam Brahma is Jagat Karanam. Quietly now they are going from Nirgunam Brahman to Sagunam Brahma as Jagat Karanam. That is why we can say Ishvara is Jagat Karanam, Bhagavan is Jagat Karanam. Like that we can say that Bhagavan, Nama Rupa, who is Nama Rupa Bija, who is the cause for all these names and forms called Jagat. Avyakritakhyat. Also called, Akhya means called, Namani, Namni, Avyakrita Namnaha. Vyakhya means Nama. So also known as, also called as, also named as Avyakrita. Avyakrita can be Maya also. Maya. Avyakrita is Maya. Avyaktam. Maya. So at this point, it doesn't matter if you call Bhagavan or you call Maya. Because Bhagavan also has Maya. And Maya is Maya, of course. So Mayayaha Param. Which is same as saying Ishvarat Param. Bhagavatah Param. Saguna Brahmanaha Param. Sopadikam Brahmanaha Param. Maya Sahita Brahmanaha Param. Brahmanaha means Panchami. Param too, that is Brahmanaha we are saying. Okay. Avyakritakhyat. Swavikara apekshaya parat. Hey, what is the role of Maya and what is the role of Bhagavan? To create, to bring about changes. Creation is vikara. Vikara. Maya is changing. Only if I change, then I can say I created something. Maya is like that. And so, swavikara apekshaya, when compared to, apeksha is comparison, when compared to its own changes, when compared to the changes that it brings about, this Maya brings about, Avyakritam brings about, that Bhagavan brings about, in comparison to that, Maya is greater than the changes it brings about. That's what he's saying. Swavikara apekshaya param. Maya is greater than the changes it brings about. Bhagavan is greater than Jagat. Bhagavan is not same as Jagat. Bhagavan is greater than Jagat. That's what he's saying. Swavikara apekshaya param. In turn, param. That param is different from this param, okay? Parat param. Look at that. Parat param. Okay, that parat means what? That Maya who is greater than, okay, let's put it this way. That Maya who is greater than, that Maya who is greater than the world it creates, she creates, greater than that Maya is Aksharam. Is what we talked about. That Nirupadikam Brahma is greater than Maya, who is greater than the world. So the description of Maya is given. That Maya who is Param, who is greater than the world. The product it creates, the world she creates. Swavikara apekshaya param, tasmat param. Tasmat parat param. I hope I didn't confuse you. Okay. All right. Those are the descriptions given to that Sopadikam Brahma. So that Vivakshan Aha, with this intention, Upanishad, with the intention to take us from Sopadikam Brahma to Nirupadikam Brahma, the Upanishad is now telling the next mantra. Okay, that's all it is. Let's chant the next mantra. Divyo hyamuurtaH puruShaH.
दिव्येख्यमूर्तः
puruShaH.
पुरुषः
sabaahyaabhyantaro.
सभाख्यभ्यन्तरो
hyajaH,
hyajaH,
apraaNo,
apraaNo,
hyamanaaH,
hyamanaaH,
shubhro,
shubhro,
hyakSharaat,
hyakSharaat,
paraH.
paraH.
Once again, divyo hyamuurtaH puruShaH,
divyo hyamuurtaH puruShaH,
sabaahyaabhyantaro hyajaH,
sabaahyaabhyantaro hyajaH,
apraaNo hyamanaaH shubhro,
apraaNo hyamanaaH shubhro,
hyakSharaatparataH.
hyakSharaatparataH.
Very good. So, like that other mantra 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, Adreshyam, Agrahyam, Agotram, Avarnam, everything is just one word. Each word is a description of Brahma. Same thing here also. Divyaha, Amurtaha, puruShaH, etc. Everything is one word, which is all in Prathama Vibhakti. So, grammatically easy to process this mantra, right? Divyaha. Divyaha means shining. Shining, not simply shining, self-shining by itself. Some things shine like moon shines with the help of sun. But this thing doesn't need any help. Divyaha. Shankara will say that. Self-effulgent. Amurtaha. Murta. Murta means form. Murti. Murta is a form. Amurtaha. Formless. Formless. Purushaha. We know already two meanings. Shankara will give those same two meanings. But here, all pervading. All pervading. It has to be obviously. Sabaahyaabhyantaro. That which supports the outside and the inside. Bahya means that which is outside. Antaraha means inside. So this inside outside idea itself is supported by the Brahman. Because Brahman doesn't have any inside outside. So that which goes along with us when we say inside and outside. So as the adhishthanam of everything that is out and in. Okay. Antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitaha. Correct? Narayana Suktam, I think it comes. Antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitaha. Vyapya, pervading the inside and outside. Narayana is just there. Sthitaha. Sthitaha. Unmoving. My God, solid Narayana. You're not listening to my prayers. You don't melt. Your heart doesn't melt at my suffering. Sthitaha, just sitting like that. So, hyajaH, ajaha, that which has no birth. ApraaNo, lifeless. You God, sometimes in these dialogues we have, God, lifeless. You're just mute spectator of all my suffering, ApraaNo means what? Without prana. Means that which supports prana. Amanaah, mind. Amanaah, without mind. So very interesting, all these words. Sanskrit. When you know Sanskrit, it becomes a joy. Then you wonder why it is not amanaha. Why does it say amanaha? Like that question will come. Beautiful it is. Why, Can anybody guess? Except Hemavati. Hemavati should not talk. Let's give a chance to others.
What is the question again? What is the
Golden
question?
words can only be repeated once. Why
Consciousness
is it is
doesn't have a mind.
amanaha? Why not amanaha? Manaha, right? Manaha is singular. Where is this manaha coming from? The answer
All
is
manas.
this.
Almana. Many.
That's a nice try. But you know what? Nachiketas, what is the singular form of Nachiketas?
Nachiketaha.
Nachiketaha is singular. Sakaranta Pullingam, in that particular case, it is Nachiketaha is singular. Nachiketaha, not Gachanti. Nachiketaha Gachati. Nachiketa goes. Not many Nachiketas. No. Nachiketaha is the plural form. And so here, Upanishad is saying, I am going to convert this. Manas is actually Sakaranta Napumsaka Lingam, neutral gender. But it is now talking about Atma. And so I am going to convert it into, everything is in Pullingam, masculine, divyaha, etc. Therefore, I have to convert this manas also into Pullingam. And I added the a, therefore it is no longer the original word. And so I have the right to convert it to Pullingam, Sakaranta Pullingam. That is why it is Amanaha. Anyway. All right. Amanaha means what? Without mind means without any Sukshma Shariram. Prana and all is listed. So, Sukshma Sharira Rahitaha. Shubhraha. Pure. Shubhraha. Shuddhaha. Pure. Pure means what? See, pure means how can the human mind appreciate what is purity? Maximum you can think of impurity and say it has no impurity. Then what is impurity for Atma? Okay. Avidya. Karana Sharira Rahitaha. Avidya Rahitaha. Karana Shariram and Avidya are identical. Rahitaha. Like that. It doesn't have all those things. So, Aksharat paraH. That kind of. So, superior even into Aksharat means Saguna Brahmanaha. Sopadika Brahmanaha. Sopadika Brahman. Means Bhagavataha. Bhagavata is scary to say, oh, something greater than Bhagavan is there. Is that what you're talking? Is that what Advaita Vedanta is teaching? To say somebody bigger than Bhagavan is there? Yeah, I mean, come on, it's not difficult. Just spend some time thinking about it. That's all. All right. This is the gist of the shloka. And we have a few minutes left. All right. Let's read the Bhashyam. Divyaha.
Divyaha.
Dyotanavan.
Dyotanavan.
Swayam Jyotishtvat.
Swayam Jyotishvat.
Divi va swatmani bhavaha.
Divi va swatmani bhavaha.
Alaukiko va.
Alaukiko va.
Hi yasmat.
Hi yasmat.
Amurtaha.
Amurtaha.
Sarvamurti varjitaha.
Sarvamurti varjitaha.
I will pause there. The first word, divyaha, in the moolam. Okay. So it comes from the dhatu div dhatu. Shankaracharya is going to give three meanings to this word divyaha. Three meanings he's giving. First meaning is what? Dyotanavan. Dyotanavan. So the one who has this dyotana means the ability to illuminate. Ability to illuminate. That entity is called divyaha, he's saying. Dyotanam. And why this person has the ability to illuminate? Swayam Jyotishtvat. Because its nature is of that. It is not like a torchlight, flashlight which has some batteries and therefore it has the ability to illuminate. No. Swayam Jyotishtvat. Its nature is that. Swayam. You don't need another power or any other Shakti to illuminate this one. This this nirupadikam Brahma. Okay. And so Swayam Jyotishtvat, that self-effulgent means what? Self-existing awareness, fortunately, does not require anything else to make it aware. Make it be of the nature of awareness. I don't even know how to say it in English. So that's the beauty. Jyotanavan, Swayam Jyotishtvat. Amazing it is. Amazing it is. Is it not? Without that self-existent entity, the world cannot rest, cannot be there, first of all, not possible. And yet, the entire world of science is focusing only on the thing that is not self-existent. It is always dependent on something else. That is why science is constantly growing. Cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. And so, anyway, Swayam Jyotishtvat, that is the first meaning. Swayam, it doesn't borrow. Awareness is not borrowed. This Brahman is, nature is awareness, which has a capacity to give its awareness to everybody else who wants it. And so, the one that is never indebted, because never borrows. Divi va swatmani bhavaha. Divi va swatmani bhavaha. Swatmani bhavaha. That bhavaha, existing, present, abiding in itself. Abiding in itself, supported by itself. It supports itself. Means independent, right? If I can support myself, then I say I am independent. Okay, it's something like that. This Brahman is self-supporting, abides in itself. It is based on itself. It is not based on anything. Yathaa. Okay. Chandogya Upanishad, you can make a note of this mantra. 724.1. 7.24.1. Sve mahimni tishtati is a big word there. Sve mahimni. In its own glory, it is. That is the statement from Chandogya. Sve mahimni tishtati. That is what he's saying here. Swatmani. In its own glory, it remains. All right. Third meaning he's giving. Alaukikova. Laukika. Just ask anybody what is divya. What is divya? I mean, they will tell you, oh, it must be heavenly. Heavenly. I had a heavenly experience, they say. That means what? I had an out of the world experience. Out of the world. That is what is alaukika. Laukika means worldly. Alaukika means unworldly, otherworldly. Otherworldly. Out of this world. Wow, that also you can take. Out of this world. Means what? Hey, it is not an object. It is not an object, it is a subject. Otherworldly. It is not anatma, it is atma. We put atma in the other world, So alaukikova, extraordinary, you can say, something like that. Not earthly, it's a heavenly entity. Heavenly also you can say. Of course, loosely heavenly. But extraordinary is a general word. Alaukikaha is a general meaning of divyaha. But others are more specific. Self-existent is specific. All right. He, yasmat. This word he keeps coming in the shloka. HyamuurtaH, 1. HyajaH, 2. HyamanaaH, 3. Hyaksharat, 4 times you get he. He. So Shankaracharya says it once here. He means yasmat. He means because. Yasmat means because. Use the word because. He can have many meanings. Indeed also is he. Like this. He is a particle which can be used in flexibly, can be used in many contexts. That's why writing poems also becomes shlokas becomes this he and tu and all these things. They provide the freedom for the writer to just put all these words wherever they want. It is like you play this, some game is there, it's called Tetris, and these things keep falling, and there's another game where you have, it gives you these blocks of different place, shapes and straight lines, blocks and all, and you have to just place whatever you want in this thing and complete the whole puzzle and all. And this one, sometimes it's not a block, it's just one smallest particle, that square, small square is there. You can put it in where you want to put fill up the small hole. Like that, this he is that thing. It just, you can use it, you can keep it last. You don't waste he, right? You keep it for the last. that is what he is. So Shankara is saying it means yasmat. Yasmat means because therefore. Tasmat also is fine. Therefore sometimes we use, but he, in this case, therefore or because, both acceptable. Yasmat. He yasmat amurtaha. Amurtaha. Sarvamurti varjitaha. Straightforward. It is free from all forms. Free from all forms. You can say therefore free from all forms. Divyaha, because free from all forms, or divyaha and therefore free from all forms. Both. Cause effect, here you can't apply the normal ideas of cause effect. Sometimes we try to do it, but here can be either way. Only that which is free from all forms can be all pervasive. Only that which is all pervasive can be self-effulgent, self-existent. Only that which is existent can be consciousness of the nature of consciousness. All these things go together. So, he yasmat amurtaha. Then puruShaH, etc. will continue from the next class. So, this mantra is talking about Nirgunam Brahma. Previous mantra talked about Sagunam Brahma. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.